Well, welcome everybody to the City of Seaford's Cultural District Board, our May meeting, on call to order. And can we, all introduce ourselves so that we can have it for the minutes.
Linda Jeffries, Beaufort Convention and Visitors Bureau.
Kathy Mixon, Beaufort History Museum.
Bonnie Hargrove, USCB Center for the Arts, and
Sarah Sutton, Beaufort.
very good. I understand that we need to approve two sets of minutes, the November 20th and the February 19th. Have y'all had a chance to read over them or refresh your memory? And if not, do I have a motion to accept?
I make a motion, we approve it.
Both.
Both.
Okay, so
And I second.
wonderful. Thank you very much. So, Sarah, I know you and I are going to tag team them a lot, which I'm excited about. So part of Old Business has updates on the Arts Festival, which really means that we're really gearing up now, and the things that we need from the city or just to know about or and make decisions on would be the logo for the Arts Festival and what is our budget. So carry forth, person with information.
So Bonnie sent out the logos.
And forever.
It has been, it was maybe last month after our meeting, the day the meeting was supposed to be. If you guys can get back with us and let us know what logo you prefer. And if you would like to see any of the changes, we're more than happy to adjust those, but the quicker we get that logo decided on, the quicker we can get out the info for the arts festival, art show
Got it.
over at USCB.
And the one in the park at Washington Street.
Yes.
So could you real quickly email that to our phones? I mean, do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That would be great. And then I don't know if we can figure out how to throw it up for other people to see, or I'm not savvy.
Unless I had it, I can.
Well, I think Sean made it.
Okay.
That doesn't mean
It
anything.
doesn't pertain to my personal computer, unfortunately.
Month and
It
it
could be
would
from
come
me.
from Bonnie.
But if she can just resend it real
Okay.
quick, then you won't have to do like me, the reshuffle. So if while we're waiting to look at that, would you mind telling us what city council has approved for the budget?
We haven't taken. So this is tying into the Taste of Beaufort,
Correct.
and I know we had a session where you met with Jennifer
Mm-hmm.
and Lise was there, or
No, it was Mitzi.
Mitzi was there.
Yeah.
And we kind of came up with a rough idea of what it would be for Washington Street Park and for USCB, and that ties into our budget for Taste of Beaufort.
Got it.
So, I can find those correspondence too. I have a ton of emails
I know.
back and forth between us, so I'm looking.
I appreciate it.
I will send that as soon as I find it.
As I brought in project brochures, 'cause we're eventually gonna talk about them.
Okay.
And so we can go through the ones that need to just be yanked, until we. And refurbished.
Okay.
See this.
I didn't see it until last year. Like first of fall part. That's Linda Laura.
They live in our office, so if you need,
It would be nice if something at the visitor center where people could actually pick them up and see them.
yeah, they can.
What comes?
And I know they're
Can you imagine?
Well, I mean,
more space in other locations as well. We just have the box in our storage.
so. There's some of them that are in dire need. So actually distributing these very much may not be that conducive. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Because it's almost like we need to wait and get them cleaned
Yeah, they
up.
need to be updated.
Yeah, yeah. Mitzi is not here, she's out of town. I tried to walk around to see all of them. I do know that the reconstruction here in National Park one, Ginger just needs to have the city deliver it to her office there at, Pickle Juice.
Okay.
She got
That's
And she's doctored up.
Santa Elena one.
No, it's right there by reconstruction. It's
Okay.
outside. It looks real fillable.
Santa Lena's in the visitor center.
Right.
Yeah, and so is it Frips that has a box of chocolate?
Yes.
That's at the visitor center.
I think those look okay.
The
Um,
Santa Elena one is actually not at the visitor center. It is in our storage unit at
So
Southside.
you have already picked it up.
Because
You've
it
already,
needs
because
to
it was in bad
It was in
shape.
bad shape.
Yeah, it was splintering and.
Yeah, it was a very bad shape.
So the only, I mean, that's one I know that we can go ahead and be working on. USCB Center for the Arts always just kind of takes care of their own.
And the one out front here also needs to be fixed as
So-
well.
Yeah, I feel like the key is, summer. If we can, the ones that we don't know who's gonna do them, if I can get them placed in the back of the CFA, maybe we can provide the artists with at least an air conditioned area
Yeah.
to do it in.
And
that would
invite
be
them to
nice.
come, that would be,
Yeah.
that might be
A
very
little bit.
conducive.
Yeah, that would be very,
Repair.
Yeah,
probably get it done a lot quicker.
yeah, yeah, I mean, and then we can, as long as I have it out of there by the time we do the set for 9 to 5, we'll be good. So that's like September.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
That should be plenty of time.
I'm sorry, we're covering other things, but isn't that positive?
And I have not seen the mural yet. I need to go by and see the mural.
Yes. Oh my gosh, it looks so good.
The pictures look good. I've not been by to actually physically see it yet. So
I haven't
Same
either.
here.
need
I
to
didn't
go by.
know it was done.
I didn't know it was done.
Well, I had it in from the last time we met or talked or something, I had it in my book what day she was starting.
Mhm.
I just
Wish
didn't
I had
realize how
known so I could
fast she
go and-
was.
Wish we got pictures of her.
I think we got a time lapse, don't we?
Yes, we
Yeah,
have a time
okay.
lapse and then I have photos from, cause we of course went down and checked on her every day and throughout the day. So I have photos when we went and checked of the different progress that was made on the mural. Julia did an fantastic job. And there's little hidden gems in it that you get to spot. And I always see something new every time I look at it. The hidden gems aren't done on
And it looks
purpose,
like
it's
she
just
continued it onto the sidewalk. That was kind of cute.
Yeah.
That was nice. Like
some,
you could walk into the
yeah,
scene.
there were some last minute additions and changes while we were in the process of doing it. So the bleed off onto the sidewalk was one of those that she really, really wanted to do. And then the extension of kind of the view over onto the other side of the door frame was a last minute addition too, because just having the branch there, she felt was
It's not enough.
not enough, and she really wanted to do the whole wall, but she didn't have all of the supplies to do so. So maybe we'll have her back a little bit later to do the whole wall
Well,
because
she did an amazing job, and I'm like, I just need to take a moment. Just walk down there.
and we would love to do a ribbon cutting for the mural too and invite council and the city managers out to do that. Because it's been received so well throughout the community.
So would we like to put that on our plate, or is that a city plate, or since we kind of helped with that project?
Yeah,
How would you like us
the city
to be
would,
involved?
we would do the ribbon cutting, but we wanna make sure that it's a time that works for y'all to come and be a part of that, because the cultural district did play such a big role in getting this off the ground and getting it going.
Okay.
Well, these are up.
Hey, yay! Okay,
Oh,
we have them?
We
I
have
just
them.
emailed him.
Sorry about that, guys. I should have sent it when I sent the other stuff. Okay.
I like the top left-hand side, except the writing on the banner, it just doesn't show, it's not clear enough. It's much
That's
better
more than you.
on the two right-hand sides.
Like this one.
The bottom, the blue one.
Bottom right.
Yeah, I really like the blue one as well.
It's
Yeah.
tasteful.
Aw, she says. So I don't like, what do you call that?
Banner.
That banner.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't, it's not, it's
I
too
would like
passe, you know
this
what I'm saying?
one, it's this banner,
Yeah,
this one with this banner.
so the.
But I like this. I think I like this color. The turquoise, the blue, looks more Beaufort to me.
Looks very watery.
It does.
Yeah,
I definitely don't like the bottom left.
No, it's kind of corny.
Yeah, it just doesn't work at all.
But
The
do-
top left doesn't work for me because you can't read the banner.
well, that's
Although-
what Bonnie and I are saying, we don't really like the banner, but we
Yeah.
like the, but it's
But I
actually
like
the
the way they
same.
did Beaufort in that,
I do too.
of Beaufort, I like the way they did
But
that.
see,
And
I
maybe
would like
to take
that Beaufort under this turquoise taste with this banner.
okay,
Okay, yeah.
and I would like it, do you need me to write this down, Sarah? Cause I'm supposed to, so I like capitals, I'm just like a capital person.
Okay.
So I would prefer weaving flavors, traditions and stories to all have.
All in
capitals.
caps, I like
Yeah.
that too.
Yeah, I mean, just, it can be either just the first letter, it doesn't have to be all caps. Do you see what I'm saying? Cause I understand
Yeah,
what he's
That makes an
doing.
emphasis in a statement if the first letter is
Yeah,
capitalized.
yeah, so I mean, that would be.
It's not
my-
proper, it's not proper grammar, but it is marketing grammar.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so,
well, you know, it's like that in all the others, it's just this one,
This one
that
is-
bar.
so, okay, so we wanna we're gonna start on the top left, so the top left is 1, then 2, then the bottom is 3 and 4. Does that make sense?
Yes.
When we talk about them.
Top
Yes.
left is 1,
Mhm.
top right is 2,
Uh-huh,
bottom left is 3, bottom right is 4.
so when we talk about this going full, for
Okay.
Sarah.
Okay, okay, got it.
So, we prefer number 4 with the following changes.
No, not number
Correct.
4.
Okay, is that right?
We like the turquoise
But that's
wording.
3, 1, 2, 3.
No,
No, I
No.
bet, this one's 3.
oh, hers came up different than yours.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
No, you're right,
Yes.
no, bottom right
I
corner.
thought you said 1, 2, 3, 4.
No,
Other way.
no,
Other
other,
way?
1, 2, 3,
1,
4.
2, 3, 4.
Correct.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, so do we like 4?
Yes.
Okay, and oh my goodness. We like 4 because we like the colors, okay? We would like to capitalize the weaving flavors, traditions, just the first
First
letter,
letter of each word.
okay? So what were you saying about of or Beaufort
This of
somewhere?
Beaufort.
Number 1 of Beaufort, I
I-
like that. Put that under the blue
But I
taste.
don't know that the red is gonna look good under there. So,
So you like,
It can be black,
you
or it
like
can be the blue.
the,
instead of the
navy.
big of like this, the little of. Like that.
Well, I do like that. I don't like the lines up above and
No.
below.
No,
But I do like the idea that the first 2 big things you see is taste Beaufort,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
And see,
so.
this is bolder, this is very subtle, so you really don't see Beaufort here.
So we would like to bold the Beaufort. And make the of smaller. So that way the main thing you will see on t-shirts, whatever y'all are doing,
So
is taste Beaufort.
Are you gonna take the
Small.
of Beaufort like
But we
this
don't really
and
like the
transfer it down
lines.
here?
Yes.
So this is
Other than we're not gonna do
And
the
this is
line
very
up
bold.
above the of
This you almost don't.
and
see
below.
Beaufort. So
Oh,
it
really?
needs to be
I
bold.
like
I like that.
You do like
I
that?
do like that.
But we can ask.
It kind of,
anybody
it kind of
else.
separates it
Yeah.
out, puts it
But
in
you
there, separates
like
it out, but it,
the
it gives more
font
emphasis to beauty.
Format of number one.
Yeah, I don't see it that way, but that's okay, that's the beauty of.
Well, the taste is the same font in those
Yeah.
three.
Yeah.
It's the Beaufort is a different font and it's like a shadow font,
Mhm.
but the red is not gonna work with that turquoise. So I think the blue,
Navy.
the navy blue would work if you use that font in navy, do you think?
So if we took number one, took the lines off of, and took away that banner,
And put the other banner
and put the other banner up there and changed those colors to the colors of
to
number
turquoise and
one.
navy, yes.
You want that?
I think you did a great job doing
I
that.
think that's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think you took our.
And just, she put it in her own.
Well,
Yeah.
and she
Words.
actually did it in a more direct
Yes,
way.
instead of
So
like,
Kara,
put this in here, put that
congratulations.
there.
Yeah, we were gonna make this as complicated as we could for you, my dear.
It's my marketing effort.
Do you think that little bar on number 3? 1, 2, 3, no, excuse me,
Mine
number
finding.
4,
Mine
that navy blue bar, should it be a little taller, just a little bit? You see how,
Okay,
The
so I
bad-
see what you're saying, because once we capitalize those letters, it might have to be taller to accommodate the capital
Yeah.
letter on each word. Because it's only the height,
Yeah.
so, well, you can use that, you'll,
Yes.
Balance it out.
Should adjust that as it needs to be to fit the text that goes within that space.
Yeah, no, he'll do that. Can we put can we have like a 2-week deadline to have it back?
yeah,
Yeah, I can see if he can do that.
Okay. Because then or a week, I mean, as soon as he can get it to us, I feel like we can both. And then that way we're not holding you up. And then,
we can vote online. We can
sure, you
send
can
it-
just send us an email.
And yeah, and then we can vote.
does that work for you, Sarah?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. The reason is that I'm gonna be starting on the art show. And need the logo to be able to put it with it.
Right.
So that just kind of helps me. Which everybody will be seeing. As I, put together the call for entry.
Mhm.
So that we make sure we're saying all the right things. So, but I need to. That would be something that I would have to have before, 'cause I'd like to get it out this summer.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we'll set that budget breakdown, as well as the new logo.
Okay. And when you say the budget breakdown, it's what, council has not voted on a budget yet, correct?
No, they have not. So once that gets passed, we'll have to look at what is allocated to the Taste of Beaufort,
Okay.
and then we'll have to see what we can fit in that framework. But I think last time we talked about the budget, it was so long ago. I'm pretty sure we were okay with what we decided. I would just like to loop Jennifer in on that, since Taste.
Do y'all know who Jennifer is?
She is our new events and tour coordinator, so she is going to be dealing with all things events, festivals, and tours.
So she's in your department.
Yes.
Events, festivals, and what?
And
Tours.
tours, so maybe when we have another meeting to discuss this, she should.
Yes, we'll bring her.
Yeah, I mean, I think. Sarah, and I don't wanna misquote because I don't have, it seems like we were trying to at least up y'all's budget by 20. Is that what we were trying to do?
It was. I'm pretty sure you're right.
Mhm.
It was either 15 or 20.
Yeah,
And that was a buffer for the two separate
okay.
additions as well, just in case price wise things got a little bit more expensive than we expected.
And then that we can break out what, to let Washington Street know what they have for artist fees or what their budget is that they can work towards. And whether there's any additional funding we want to go after or whatever.
Okay,
Um,
and Pigeon Point is definitely out.
Yes, for this time, I'm always hopeful, you know?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
and they'll
that's
see how it
fine.
goes this year and figure out how they can be involved next
We'll
year.
just grow it.
Yeah,
You
I
know,
was just,
baby steps.
I totally understood. If you don't feel like you could do something,
Yeah.
they
And it might be easier to have less
Mhm.
involved the first time
And
around.
we may see
Let's
this
coordinate.
fine.
Yeah. I mean,
So there you go.
There we go.
Yeah, so, yeah. So I think if we could go back, is there anything else we need to talk about? If we've gone through the review logo and given our suggestions and asked for as quick as possible response, and we will. I'm just reviewing for everybody because my brain.
Okay,
And then we will vote online.
online,
I'll-
that'll expedite things.
That would expedite things. You're sending us the updated budget or what was requested, even though we know that it was not approved.
Yes.
So we'll just know to be watching that.
Yeah, it was 10,000 for Washington Street and then 10,000 for USCD. And that includes the police contracts, overnight security, possible road closures, acts, music, infrastructure, rentals, art supplies, and sound and production.
Got it. So, I don't. I need to go back and see, we'll need to let them know how much the police and that part that's gonna come out of that budget. Because I think that's gonna really hurt what they have to do. I was kind of hoping that that never got in the budget.
It's always in there, and I can clarify with Linda
Okay.
on how that works as well.
And yeah, and how much that would be, cause we may think we have, 9,000, but no, you have 5,000.
Yeah.
So yeah, if we could clarify that, that would be great. We're gonna go back to the inventory of the benches real quick, just to kind of, so we know the digital corridor is not there, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so that's
what
one,
happened to that one?
that's,
it?
that one, is that one in storage or does it?
That
be for
one
order?
is at Sean's office.
Okay,
It is still awaiting a final design approval.
okay,
I think the last design we saw was when Ashley was still here, and it appeared more like a billboard than an
Yeah.
artist bench.
okay,
So we
perfect.
do have to follow up.
Okay, and I think that's with the digital corridor.
Yes.
Correct. Linda, do you have much dealings with them?
No.
Okay, cool. I was always trying to pass the buck.
And they're right below.
Oh, you're right. Okay, then you're in
Right there in
charge.
the office.
Sarah's in charge. Okay, Sarah, you're gonna move that ball forward. Can't believe I
Santa
did it.
Elena is in storage where,
It is at Southside Park in one of our barns over there.
in the city
In
barn.
the city hall.
Okay.
And those are the only
And the
three.
city hall one needs to be restored. Okay.
Yes, and that was,
But it's still out, isn't it still out there?
it is still out, the vinyl is peeling and has faded.
I would like a new design on that.
Okay.
I don't, yes, I would like to think about a new design.
Yeah.
And it might be really fun. Maybe we should do one for the revolution. Dun, dun, dun.
Da, da, da.
Love it.
200th anniversary. It's here.
I mean, why would we not?
Exactly.
I don't know if the city hall's the right place. I don't know whether Lafayette went that far in. Kathy, you're our person.
Well,
on that one.
he didn't come here.
Okay. So I don't know if that's the correct one,
But he was downtown.
okay, but I'm
And this,
saying,
But the
the town's down, this is the city hall, so.
yeah, so I mean, whatever, yeah, I think we can talk about that, but maybe that's one. I think I can only get 2 backstage at the CFA, so you and I, we'll talk about which 2 we want to put in there and
Yeah,
then we'll work on.
I know the city hall one, Sean did the vinyl on that one, I believe.
So it's a vinyl wrap
Yes.
and
on
it's
that
coming
bench.
off.
But I think that's the same thing that happened with the digital quarter, it was also vinyl wrap.
Is that because it's wrapped on wood
Right. The wood is
instead of
porous.
metal? Yeah,
The
instead
wood
of
is
metal.
porous.
Yeah, and it contracts and expands and it's
But
breathes and
if it were
suffocates.
painted and sealed,
Well, we've had problems with painted and sealed.
but I mean, if it's painted and sealed and then they wrap it. If it were painted and sealed, then it's non-porous, isn't it?
Theoretically,
And then you could
But
wrap
wood
it,
is-
if you would wrap.
wood is still wood.
Yeah.
We've just, it's been a lesson learned with these benches because they're outside. And of course, the one I can speak for the one at CFA, we've repainted it at least twice.
Yeah, well, and you know, Baja did boots
Yeah,
and they had marine lacquer put on the outside of, and some of those are being compromised.
Yeah.
Not as quickly as our benches were, I think,
Yeah.
but.
Well, we
But, you
decided
know,
all of them are being
With the harsh
compromised to
environment,
one
the
degree or
salt
another.
air and the.
yeah, I
humidity
think
all the
it's part of
Just
what
have to keep on top of it.
the other thing that, so we know those three, and then if you could have the, reconstruction sent to Pickle, I was about to say, to Pickle Juice.
Pickle juice.
Or, yes, that would be great.
Do we know whether the painted ones are holding up better than the wraps?
I think they're equally compromised.
Okay.
I know that Linda Sylvan, has done several of them, and I'll try to get what her recipe is to make sure that we kind of have an all over recipe.
Yeah,
Yeah, give that to the artist.
So,
yeah.
This is what we need,
yeah.
what to do.
One of the things that probably is going to need to come out of our budget is, I know at the CFA, a lot of these are what, 7, 8 years old, guys, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Some of the first ones, yeah.
yeah, the plaque thing that talks about the artist and what it is, like mine's like almost completely faded.
Yeah.
So I think we need to take inventory of that and have those reprinted.
I
Just,
wonder if it would be helpful to put, after they're printed, put like a plexiglass shield on
it
them.
maybe so going forward.
Because plexiglass is not expensive.
No,
That can be
it's not.
replaced. If it
And I
gets,
wonder if it can have
if
some
it gets
kind of a,
cloudy or scratched or something, it's easy to replace if you just screw it on.
right, but have like a UV sheet of some sort cut to fit in there.
Right.
That
Can you
might
put
help
that in your
too.
notes if that's what we would like if we get there?
We can always
Sometimes
ask.
having you, yeah, I just think that that's another one, I think Mitzi kind of, not to speak for her, but I kind of am. I think she's kind of taken that in as a project a little bit, but I'll clarify that with her. And then if we could just need an inventory using this, so that you know which ones, I would think we'd wanna just, do all of them at once as far as the little things.
Yeah,
So, but,
And budget wise, we'd have to look at what it costs to restore the benches. And how many benches the budget allows for to restore for the year, so we can kind of get that plan.
maybe just have them on a rotating basis.
Yes.
I like that.
Well, I don't know any other way to do it economically.
Yeah,
There's a lot of benches out there and they're
I know,
all
yeah.
gonna have to be done.
let's, but we'll just keep this as an ongoing board project.
Yeah.
So that we'll just keep talking about it and, making sure, but we'll see. The big thing is just, literally going to each one of these.
Yeah, the checks and.
Yeah,
And Nancy's doing that. She's not.
I think so, but again, Mitzi, who is not here, I will respect you, and if you say, no, that's not what I meant. Then.
Oops.
Yeah, then I'll let y'all know.
Okay.
Okay, and then we'll just divide and conquer always works, right? So, okay, well, good, and then we'll look at the budget. Once we have it and figure out how much it would cost to do the laminated,
Yes.
you do that. And I am not sure, I don't think. I'll reach out to Ginger whether she needs anything. Whether she's expecting any compensation.
Okay.
Okay, moving on, you've already talked to us about the
That's
barrel.
Yeah.
Any other details or fun stuff?
So we would love to schedule a ribbon cutting within the next week or two. if that's feasible for y'all. Just to kind of get out there in front of it before.
We could get past the Memorial Weekend and like the
Yeah.
first or second week in June.
Would the 16th give us enough room? I don't know what day we wanna do it.
Well, the 16th is Monday.
Oh, okay,
No, it's the one, oh, that's July.
No,
Yeah,
June 16th is Monday.
June.
Okay. I know, and it doesn't matter because there's plenty of y'all, I'm gonna be, first Friday is June 6th.
Yeah.
But I don't think we've got time enough to really promote that, right?
Well, we're out of town the following week. I mean, we can't all be, we might not all be
No,
able to
no,
be
no,
there,
no.
so.
No, but I mean, it might be a fun first Friday thing, you think it's enough time?
It is. I unfortunately will be out of town.
Well, then I'm available the next week or the next
Well,
week
what
or.
about-
Yeah, I'm not really available that week. That's when I'm
What about the
having,
13th?
I'm
That's a
fine.
Friday. It's
I'm
not,
fine with
it
the
won't
13th.
conflict with first Friday.
Linda and I will also be out of town.
Okay, okay, let's go with yours and Linda's schedule, what works
Pick a
for
day,
y'all?
pick a day.
Cause
So
it doesn't have to be a Friday, right?
No,
no, it can
Okay.
be any day of the week.
Okay,
We just have to make sure it works.
city council,
Send out the invitation to city council and make sure Sean or Anthony are available to do the live stream of the.
well, why don't you look at the week of the 16th?
Okay.
And is everybody, you know, and just see what works for y'all, cause I mean, I guess it could also be a noon thing, I mean. You schedule it and we'll do our best, does that work for y'all?
yeah, and the week
Yeah.
of the 16th, I can probably work that
That
out
works.
any day.
Works for me too, any day, I'm in town.
Okay, so let's plan on that, and if that doesn't work, y'all have to be, and John has to be there, so whatever works for y'all. Okay, well, let us know about that, and then, and now, tell us how things are going with our additional board seats.
Yes, so we have approval
Mhm.
for the additional at-large and the Freedman Arts District seat. Bonnie has sent an email requesting a letter from Freedman's Arts District to be able to seat them. If we get that letter soon, we'll be able to put it up to council for the June 10th meeting and get them approved and seated for cultural district.
It's because they need a human name,
Yes, and they need that
that
letter.
letter, just
Right.
say they accept being part of it,
Mhm.
yeah.
We have also put out that we are accepting applications
Okay.
for the at-large.
Mhm.
So if you guys know anyone that lives within the cultural district that is interested in having a seat on the board to help in the future and will be an active participant, we highly encourage that you tell them to apply.
That's.
Do they have to live in the cultural district or can they own property in the cultural? And what's happening with Reverend Hodges' position?
I have not had a chance, just trying to be.
Yeah, I'm gonna stop by there on my way home this afternoon, talk to Gassie.
Oh, would you?
And see if she's going to continue running the visitor center, because I've got motor coach groups there for lunches and dinners,
Oh my.
so
You're gonna talk to who?
his sister.
Oh, Reverend Hodges' sister? Okay.
Would you, if it's convenient, would you ask whether Tyrone would like to continue as on
Yeah,
the board and
yeah.
who would represent?
I will.
And
I've stopped by before to talk to her, she wasn't ready. to
no,
go.
understand.
But
Yeah.
the
It was a
gallery's been open
surprise.
every day, so I'm gonna stop by again and see if she's gonna continue the gallery and continue doing the gala program that they do, cause they'll do dinner and entertainment for my motives.
Really?
Yeah, she does a low country boil, fish fry, you know, they've done great, and Anita works with them and she comes in and performs, and so the motor coach groups get this great immersive experience there. And Yassi has worked with him to do those, so I'm hoping she'll continue to do that, and I'll ask her if she's interested in this cultural.
Yeah, we would, you know, be honored,
Yeah.
but then if
But
that,
she has to be affiliated with Tabernacle Baptist, and I don't know that she is. How would that work, sister?
So they have to be affiliated with Tabernacle Baptist, so if there's someone.
Even if she's just a member
that's
of the church?
As long as there's a letter that comes from Tabernacle Baptist.
That asks for her to be the representative. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
yeah, thank you, that would be great.
And I can get clarification on that from Tracy as well,
Okay. All right.
along
Hopefully I
with
can-
the, do you have to live in the district or can you
But he
just
doesn't live in this.
well, Tabernacle
The church is,
Baptist,
Yeah.
yeah, so he
Yeah.
represented.
We're just talking about the at-large.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, whether that is something or whether it has, does it have any restrictions on it?
Right.
The
Okay.
first person who was our at-large was just an artist who worked in the district.
So
So,
it may just be ties to the district, but.
yeah, so I think it's more that way. I like the idea of somebody living in the district just because there's so much of, I like that idea and I've reached out to somebody that does live in the district about it. But, you know, anybody, but I do think it's with ties. So,
Because I don't live in the district, but I work for the CBB.
Yeah, I don't live in the district,
yeah, but you represent
but I
the,
represent the museum.
right, the actual
Yeah.
entity.
But Mitzi does.
So.
And the, yeah,
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 Mitzi does.
yeah. So,
So for the at-large, it does make sense for them to have someone that lives here, because
Yeah.
that's a whole different perspective of what goes on.
And that was.
she does not live in the district because the point is not part of the district.
Mitzi lives in
Really?
Point?
Mhm.
I thought she lived in the Northwest Quadrant.
So I don't think that was her thing either. But you get clarification, you do you, and it could be we've messed up before, could have messed up. I don't,
No.
you wanna
Probably do it again.
That's right. So by all means, you know, yes, somebody called me about a grant I wrote in 2000. I was like, I did?
Are you sure?
Wow. Yeah.
Can we do it
Do you remember? I was like, where was I? Yeah, so these are the problems of, yes. Having a large life, right? There's just too much up there.
Too much.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, I am on slow down till November.
Good.
Yeah, I am thrilled.
So I think, other than you and I talking for a minute afterwards about the motor coach
Right.
thing. I do wanna say that I don't know if y'all had a chance to read this, but personally, it's just a thing of beauty. This is.
I did read it.
I did.
Thank you.
Let's went tears. This one.
Yeah.
So the South Carolina Arts Association or
Arts Commission.
Arts Commission has changed the way that they require reporting, and it's now completely different, and they are seeking a whole bunch more information for their yearly reporting. So this little Excel sheet that's printed out so lovely is one of the parts that they are requesting with all of this.
I think it would be in.
Data.
Oh, I don't have it.
Yeah.
Okay,
And then
thought I printed everything.
this one was another part that they required. Yes, it's a lot of information and a lot of data that they're requesting now. And Bonnie worked really hard on it along with myself, and I could not have done it with
And the
without
computer,
you.
yeah, it was a computer research, so, but.
And put
Yeah,
all that into AI and let it write the report.
yeah, you got it. Don't. But anyhow, no, anyhow, so this is it, but this is what we really need to dissect as a board at the next meeting.
Yeah.
To really go through and make sure that we all some of the things that actually happened in the district, I want y'all to know, I did not know.
Okay, yeah, because I'm going through it, my only concern was the museum didn't really get mentioned much. And we wrote $125,000 grant for the American Revolutionary War immersive theater.
But if it's not out there for me to pull.
Yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Okay,
So,
so you
so
need to
going
know that,
forward, yeah,
forward
I
that
mean,
to you, okay,
well. But more towards when I'm writing this, otherwise it'll get in that vast thing.
yeah, I understand.
Yeah, so going
Okay.
forward,
If you just forward it to me, I'll put it in a cultural district folder and that's what we can pull for.
Okay,
yeah,
all right, because we also have the New York Highlanders every year. And we had them, and that's the Civil War, and they were actually here, and they do a memorial every year. They start about 8 o'clock in the morning, they go to the National Cemetery, because 6 of their members are buried there.
okay, well, I don't know how intense this has to be.
Okay, well, I'm.
Do you see what I'm saying? I mean,
Yeah.
we weren't trying to like leave anybody out.
Well, yeah,
And they asked specific questions of what they need, so it wasn't like, eh, you know,
Specific questions with character counts.
yeah,
yeah,
And we really did try to get the whole board involved in this. But unfortunately, the past 2 months,
Had a
we
hard
have
time
not
getting into
met
this
a
together.
quorum, so therefore we could not work as a group to get this report completed.
okay, well, also the lecture series, we just finished season 8. And we're working on season 9, so I'm just bringing those up because I think those things are things you need to think about. And if you can fit them in, if they meet the criteria, we need to include it.
Kathy,
Yes,
I was thrilled just to get this in.
I know, and you did, I read the
Yeah,
whole entire
Yeah,
thing,
so what
and I
I'm
was
saying is,
very impressed.
thank you, well, not that I need that, but what I'm saying is we can do it better going forward.
Oh, I understand that.
But like,
completely.
this is,
I know,
we-
but that, well,
yeah.
being on the museum board, I mean, obviously, those things would stand out to me, so I'm
Yeah.
just bringing them up.
well.
But I think this is really great.
Yeah, no, I was thrilled. Anyhow, it's done. It's done.
Yeah.
And you don't need to be, other than going forward,
Mhm.
if when you see us send out what they need,
Mhm.
it's gonna be the responsibility of y'all to get it back to us by a certain time,
Okay,
or it will not be included.
okay, that's fair enough.
Yeah, so, and again, it does go into characters and it does, I mean, I don't know where to stop, but we have to show a wide range of activities. So, this year we did the, Revolutionary War portion as our big emphasis.
Right.
But because that's also a statewide thing,
Mhm.
we thought they would really like that because it was,
Right.
yeah,
Oh, yeah,
so, but,
It wasn't just the state, it was like the East Coast sort of thing.
Yeah,
too, so
yeah,
that-
so,
This was specifically for 2024,
yeah.
right,
so.
Not 25.
no, not 25, it's
But
2024.
since the
Yeah, and there was something
planning,
in there that was in 2025, and I don't remember what that was, and I thought. I was gonna bring that up because that might be put in next year's, but.
Oh, I'm sure I will, or we will.
Anyway, there's
From now on.
something in there.
Yes, from now on, all things, it's a joint collaborative process. They started this last year. And,
Yeah, this was the first year that it was.
I didn't realize we then had to evaluate each year.
And there's no place to put like projects that just have been accomplished, like the benches, for instance.
It is I think it's
I didn't see the benches.
for some reason, I thought, anyhow,
The pictures were.
but we didn't do a bench during 2024.
Okay, that's,
Oh,
yeah, that's why.
okay.
So it's considered a
But did you
cultural,
restore some
I could have gone
ongoing-
there, but I
ongoing
didn't.
project? Okay.
But well, I don't know if they asked for that. Do you see what I'm saying? Y'all have to look at what
Yeah.
the question
I
is.
see what you're saying.
Yeah.
But they are listed on the cultural assets. So, I mean, it's not like they're not there.
And cultural assets.
Is that spreadsheet?
That's the spreadsheet, this thing.
Yeah. Okay.
So it goes into employment numbers, property values, public artworks, public experiences, all within.
And it has to be things that this board has worked
What's
on, or can it be
happening
things
in-
like the Harriet Tubman Memorial.
Yes. So it what I'm saying, it's whatever happened in the district,
the-
it's not,
in that.
not necessarily about us as a board,
Okay.
but what happened, what has happened
Within
in the district. And it is based off of, so you did it last year. What did you do this year?
Yeah.
Right,
So it's like a grant, you know, you would have to write to what the question is.
right.
So going forward, we've kind of told them what our goals are.
State.
Yes,
Yes, the South Carolina.
so it's very involved. And you,
Is there another little cultural arts district that we can, figure out exactly what they've had to do too?
everybody's required to do the
Everybody
same
work,
thing.
but I mean, just to compare, see if they have stuff.
Well,
Or
they're,
we're going too far.
Or we're just
You're
outstanding.
working too hard. Are you working too hard to do this or?
there is meetings and I think that you put them out to the board, don't you? I don't know if we do, but we can start. There is statewide meetings for cultural districts. That y'all are welcome and I'll start including y'all whenever I get that.
Okay.
Have not made that meal list yet.
You haven't made the list?
No.
Poor baby. Well, I'll see, cause you know, I love to share.
You know, if there's some that are close by, it might be worth a day trip to just sit
Yeah.
down with some of them and compare notes.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
trying
I
to,
think
Or
so,
invite them here
exactly.
and they have.
And they don't come,
I think
They
that they,
meet quarterly.
they meet quarter, okay.
so I think
And
that
how many cultural districts in the state are there?
she will Google that.
Good job.
I don't know because,
Good answer.
yeah, cause I don't know at
Georgia
this time.
has one.
There's
The
actually
Georgetown.
not a whole
Is it
lot.
like 12 maybe?
Um,
There is one, Bluffton has a cultural district.
Okay,
they are not recognized.
they're not recognized?
See, we won't be recognized if we don't keep up our paperwork.
I was gonna say, that's why we do this.
The 11
And
cultural districts in South Carolina. So Aiken, Beaufort, Camden,
Hungary.
yep, Florence, Georgetown, Greenville, Hartsville, Lancaster, Rock Hill, and Spartanburg downtown.
Charleston. Charleston couldn't count us.
Well, Charleston Parsival is just, where would it stop?
Yeah, exactly.
And there's a lot of things that you have to do to become a certified cultural district, and a lot of things that you have to keep up to.
And it's not, it's Charleston has enough money, they don't need to
You
worry
have
about
to
a little
meet
bit of
their
money from the
standards.
state.
Yeah.
They get
Yeah.
all the money from the state anyway.
Yeah, and so, yeah, I don't,
All right, wait a minute, it's Aiken, Camden, Florence, Georgetown, Spartanburg,
Lancaster.
Charleston,
No,
no Charleston.
no Charleston,
Aiken, Beaufort, Camden,
Aiken, Beaufort, Camden, yeah.
Congaree, Vista,
Hungary, wait a minute,
Florence,
got it,
Georgetown,
got it,
Greenwood,
Greenwood,
Hartsville,
wait a minute. Hartsville,
Lancaster, Rock Hill, and Spartanburg.
And the Vista Hungary is Columbia.
yes.
Okay.
Well, South Columbia. But anyway, all right, Greenwood, have y'all ever been to Greenwood?
I have.
I
I've
went,
missed one.
Catherine Lang and I took a field trip up there to see their museum. Because they had the first SC 250
Hartsville, no, I got ours.
presentation there. And we thought it would be a good idea, since we were gonna be writing a grant, to go up and see what they were doing. And that museum is phenomenal.
That's,
But that is because their city of Greenwood supports them. But it is worth the trip.
so at this point, I think we've run the gamut for this meeting, but very good meeting and thank everyone and, I just really want, as we get these new board members on, we need to reevaluate what works. For our meeting, because, we need to be a working board. So. We'll do that, once we get those people in place, or at least two of them, right?
And
so at this point,
we do have a couple of people that you're thinking about?
well, I mean, just some people I know,
Okay.
Do you know what I'm saying? That are like, hey, you'd be great. Now, Kathy, do they think they would want to do this? I don't know.
We'll find out.
We will. But I have encouraged, you know.
Happened to that young lady that came to a couple of meetings that was with the Freedmen's Artist.
Stacy is who I appreciate.
Stacy. She's a go-getter.
She'd be great, wouldn't
She
she?
would be great.
But you've already approached her, right? Well done.
And we're on the same.
Yeah, no, we just need worker bees, so,
Yeah, we do.
so anyhow, usually this time we talk a little bit about what we're gonna do, but because I do wanna make it out, stay to an hour, what's up?
Well, like I said, I am on kind of slow down right now. We just finished the American Revolutionary War, as you know. We did the fourth grade, just 257 fourth graders on March 21st. We did a private thing for them, for the reenactors. It turned out very well at the school district. Opened up the courtyard, yes, and we also got an agreement with Methodist Church to use their green so we could put the signs up for the different towns, so the kids could run from the different towns, so they knew how the soldiers went in the correct sequence, and that was fun.
They have to love that.
Oh, they
Yeah.
loved it. They absolutely loved it. And then, of course, Saturday, the 22nd, is when we had 3 reenactments from the Revolutionary War reenactors, and that was open to the public. We had Craven Street blocked off, and we had the battles out there, and that worked out very well. And what we gained from that, though, is we'll just have 2 next year. The afternoon when, the heat got hotter and people were less enthusiastic, a little more, yeah. And I think, the river was calling their name.
Understandable.
So, yeah.
Anything going on this summer?
And this summer, as far as I know, we have been talking about maybe having an archaeology class for children, but that has not come about yet. We're still working on things such as insurance, and you have to have that, and permission, and so we're still working on
We have
that.
to have background checks on anybody working with you.
Yes, we have to do all of that.
And
So anyway, that is what we got, and right now I just finished the report for the first quarter, and we're still working very hard on the immersive theater. That's just gonna be a continuation, and we hope to have that up and running in February of 26. But we've got the filming done, and we've got, and we're still working on the room where we're gonna do it. We've had to completely redo the room because it's a very old room and it needs to be updated for the technology of today, which they didn't do back then. Can you believe it?
Well, anything, y'all survived the taste?
We did. I think we had a great turnout for taste. Of course, we had the mural be completed, and we would love to see more downtown, whether that's wrapping the traffic boxes or working on some other things. Your input on that. And Gullah Festival is this weekend, so that's exciting. We have the Music Fest coming up in June, and then the Water Fest.
We are a fest.
We have a fest every weekend, don't we?
Almost, since
I was looking at the calendar and it's pretty much
That's a lot.
filled, yeah.
festival season.
We are a festive group.
So are a lot of buses this summer, or is that when it goes down?
It kind of goes down in the summer. They travel spring and fall primarily. 'Cause
Okay.
Seniors, they don't wanna be there with all the families and all the kids.
Got it.
And then student groups, of course, do spring and fall travels.
Okay.
So summer, we won't see as many buses. Daquan and I, this is the time of year that we do a lot of the trade shows. So he just had one in Myrtle Beach. And from there, he flew right to Buffalo, New York for another trade show. I just came back from one last week. So this is when the trade shows happen, because the tour operators aren't quite as busy right now,
Right.
and they can get away for these shows. So, we're making a lot of contacts. We have an intern at the visitor center now. His name is Jackson Bales, and he is a photography and videography major. So you know, he's doing some photos for us that, cause Sean is so busy, he can't do everything.
Fair.
And we've got like a whole laundry list of photos that we want, you know, maybe capture some people, some buses there,
Mhm.
if we see buses and people on tour, in tour groups. Some sunrises and sunsets on the water and, you know, we've got a
Yeah.
whole specific list. And then we wanna do some inside, some of the hotels, we want them to set their meeting space up. And let us, because we don't really have a brochure that I can take to a trade show and say, if you have a meeting, you can come to this hotel, and they can set it up like this.
Do y'all include the auditorium?
I do have that in my list of other locations.
Got it. Okay.
So, and I have the Wiesa Center up at the, yeah, you sent out at one point your list of, your price list and, yeah.
Yeah.
I sent that out. I've got that in my, list of things to send. So,
Okay, well,
you
good.
know, so we're hoping to get some additional photography that maybe we can start putting together some various brochures.
Do you have a PowerPoint that you send out?
No. We don't have a video. We don't even have a video.
Well, you don't have to have a video for that, you can just use the really nice photos.
Like, yeah, slideshow,
Yeah,
yes, we don't
slideshow.
need that. They want us to put a few things together that we do in a pinch when we need to, but we want a professional
Yeah.
Right.
video, like every other destination that, you know, we'll go to a trade
Okay, so the
show.
whole thing is gonna be in video form.
Well, maybe various different
Right.
videos, a few different kinds, and they can only be a few minutes long, 2 or 3 minutes.
Cause that's all they're gonna say.
Yeah, but you know, for instance, Charleston might host a breakfast at one of these tour and travel shows.
Mhm.
Where there are 1,000 people there and half of them are tour companies, and they'll host breakfast and then on the screen is this beautiful video of Charleston or Myrtle Beach or, you know,
Right.
we don't have that.
It looks like y'all
So
are looking
it's,
at
we're-
verifying that.
Yeah, and those are expensive, so.
especially if they're
You know,
done well.
Yeah, and Sean's done a few videos for us, a few things, and we use those when we can, you know, when we have an opportunity, so. But we need, you
Yes.
know, always need new stuff.
We know, yeah, totally understand. In fact, right now, we're trying to figure out our thing for the.
Well,
Hey, you.
I'm so sorry, we just got out going downstairs.
We're not gonna stay in
Well, we're all
courtroom too
saying
much longer,
goodbye.
okay, so,
Hello, goodbye.
yeah. And we're here for you, yes. So anyhow, the Center for the Arts is about to, you know, start again. Our season starts July 1 through June 30th. So, we are having a show in July. It's one of the first times we've done a big show. So it is, I love this. It is the Jersey Beach Boys. All the guys are from Jersey. They're literally from Jersey. They're performing in Charleston. They said, hey, yeah. And so we have to have it, but they sound absolutely amazing. They are so stinking cute. And so we're
are they
gonna,
like a combination of Beach Boys?
They
and
are.
Four Seasons?
well, they can do both. Yes, there you go.
They call it the Jersey Beach Boys,
So fun.
BEACH.
Yeah, so it's not the
Atlantic
Beach Boys,
City.
it's the Jersey Boys. Beach
On the
Boys.
beach, the Jersey
Right,
Beach
yeah.
Boys.
Love it.
So,
On the shore.
yeah. They are really cute, so we're gonna do that in July. I really haven't memorized that date yet. But we're just trying to test.
That's, oh, I
yeah.
would go to that.
Well, so we're testing the waters, whether we need to, whether our season should extend longer,
Mhm.
you know, or whether everybody really does go away and nobody wants to come to anything this summer.
Right.
Yeah, we don't know.
You'll find out.
Yeah, there you go, there you go.
And you'll.
Well, some of us live here year round, you know.
Yeah.
Used to do stuff.
Right.
Yeah, so we thought, gosh, why not? There was the right
Sounds
price
like fun.
point and, yeah, I'm sure we'll have some beach
And in the
balls
summer,
there.
And I can't
Love it.
imagine we don't have a plethora of Jersey boys here.
Well, you know,
That would love to
trying to
go.
play more on the Beach Boys.
Let's gonna dump a bunch of sand right in front of the CFA. and
Yes.
that would-
Yeah, big pile.
Oh, wouldn't that be
Build a
nice?
sandcastle.
Oh, gosh, y'all
And
would
put
go
some
that
sand
idea.
buckets in there.
That sounds great. If y'all would like to sponsor that would be so.
And you can bring some kids out in the morning.
You know, ladies, I appreciate this so much, but.
Sophie loves the same.
But anyhow, some of the things that we've got coming next year, we're really proud of. And so, I'm talking to her after this meeting about, whether or not we could start figuring out how to use buses. Our problem is they work 2 years out and we only work a year.
Gotcha.
So,
That's great.
and it is what it is, but,
Well, if there could be some sort of, I mean, is the pricing usually consistent?
yeah.
So if you know there will be great performances, just plug this price in and as soon as we know,
Yeah,
we let you know what they are, then they can sell a tour and say performance at USCB,
Mhm.
and then lunch, yeah.
TBD, you
Yeah.
know, and then,
But the cost is set.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
cost is set, then they can
Okay.
sell the tour,
Right.
the price is set. And then closer and people buy it and they say, well, what's the play, what are we gonna see? Well, that'll be determined later, people aren't really that picky. They just need to know how much.
It's just a different,
Right,
a different
They have an
experience.
activity.
Yeah.
Because Washington DC, they don't get their tour, I mean, their shows lined up as fast as New York does. And so it was a little bit of a challenge in DC too, to get a bus group to come to DC and go to the National Theater or
Right,
go to the Kennedy Center because they didn't always know 2 years out what they were gonna have at the Kennedy Center.
right.
Whereas in New York, they practically live there, you know,
Yeah.
the show stays there for years and years and years, so
Right.
they can plan it. So
So anyhow, so that's it, and at the next meeting, I will announce and dazzle y'all with such fun, such very, very fun. So we seem to next year going to celebrate the Celtic heritage a lot.
Mhm.
Because we have had several groups reach out to us.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah, I mean, it's nice, we've now got to be known.
Yeah.
Always knew we were here. But
Yes.
they're figuring it out that it's a good place for them to come, so. And we will be opening and having auditions for 9 to 5. So, bring out your door late. And that will be next Tuesday. So the summer, we just continue having fun.
It's hard to
So,
believe that we're at summer.
I know, I can't believe it.
Can't believe.
Lisa, I'll fill you in.
Okay.
Yeah, I can do the abbreviated version.
Okay.
Yeah, for
That's
you. So,
absolutely fine.
at this time, I would, y'all are okay, I'd like to adjourn. Do I need a vote for adjournment?
I
I
make
do.
a motion to adjourn the meeting.
second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Say.
Shortest meeting I've been to.